I'm just going to go through my visual inquiry sketchbook. So I'll just open this page. Here, when we first had the brief, I sort of just did a bit of a brainstorm here of like what collection I might use. Not that I have loads of collections, but like things of, you know, things that I use every day, like clothes, like plants in my room, shells that I've collected that are downstairs in the porch since I was a child. I thought of magnets, not that they're very interesting, but like I've got loads on my fridge, so that's just something I wrote down. 50p's and coins, but I heard that, you know, things like what's the word, when you're not allowed to copy, you know, the drawings of the coins and things, so I thought that wouldn't be a very good idea because they're all the same otherwise, aren't they? Pine cones and stuff, like natural forms, clothing like socks, gloves, scarves. I've got so many scarves, so that was one of my ideas, but I thought they're all kind of the same shape and they're all like, you know, made the same way, all the ones that I have anyway. Pots and teapots, my nan used to have loads and she's still, you know, they're still here. Paints, I don't know why I wrote that, to be honest. Buttons, I used to collect those, but I literally can't find my collection anywhere. Keys, feathers, shoes, something on my shelf, books, cutters, my clay cutters for my earrings, and then down here I've written things I used to make earrings, and that's sort of where I went with this, really. I'm not sure whether you can see properly. Yeah, so did a few pencil sketches. These are of my clay cutters that I used to make my clay earrings for my business, and now I'm starting to sort of make them for uni as well now. But this is like a stamp cutter, so you can push it down and it, you know, it pops the clay out, so you don't have to worry about getting your fingerprints all over it. Oh, mind my monkey plaster as well. I stabbed myself with a scalpel earlier, so that was fun. And then these are a pair of my clay earrings that I've got on my stand. That's just on my desk anyway, so I thought, you know, first thing. And then a few little findings like earring posts, earring backings like butterfly backs, hooks, another pair of like comfort backs, and then a clip-on component. I thought, like, you know, these are things I use almost every day in my life now, so, you know, I never really look at them in this way of drawing them, so I thought, you know, might be interesting. I didn't really go far with that though, to be honest. Got a bit more brainstorming here. Yeah, so we, in one of Kath's sessions in January, we were sort of going through our collections that we had at that point, putting them into like categories, so like well, saying what category they were, you know, just writing out things that might not be obvious when you first think of it. So I found that quite helpful actually, to just think about what I actually want to do in this inquiry. Yeah, so at this point I was sort of focusing on the earring production and the finished product of the earrings, so like, you know, things I used to make them and the actual finished product, like up to the end product, so that was quite interesting. Claire asked us to, this was one of Claire's sessions, yeah, so Claire asked us to get some vessels from around the house, like vessels or cups or vases and things, and we cut out, where are the cutouts? Here they are. So we cut out some free form vessels from, you know, from our observations, and sort of stuck them down, and then we did this like cross hatching technique. I wasn't a massive fan. As you can see, it didn't really turn out very well. I kind of like it because it did show like the shape of it, but it's not something that I, you know, took along and developed, so I obviously didn't really take a liking to it. This was more like a geometric exercise that we did with Claire as well. Sort of with the vases and vessels again. I do like this concept, I do like it. But obviously that wasn't really my collection, so yeah. And then these, they're kind of clumsy. I used like the biggest Posca pens that I have. I just wanted to be free, like I don't really want to worry about being neat. And yeah, so there's the cutouts, and I just drew like an overlapping little thing there, just a quick one. And then back to the earrings. So these kind of remind me of like paper dolls. Oh, the top's gone off that one, but yeah, so I was just cutting out shapes of like earrings that I've made before, and like the cutter shapes that I have that maybe I haven't used yet, but I do want to use in the future. Like this one here, it's obviously like a hoop, but I've never actually used it yet, so I will soon. These ones weren't actually a pair that I made, or these ones actually. They are pairs that I've bought before. So yeah, I was kind of looking at both sort of handmade and like machine factory mass made, you know. I really like how this little collage, I don't know, what do you call it, collage? Yeah, turned out. I really like the polka dots with the oranges. And then I saw this on Pinterest and I thought literally matches up. And I really love those colours too. Really nice. Oops. I realised you didn't see that, but that's what I was pointing at. Let me see if you can see everything. There we are. Then we've got my little mini books. Oops. So, so this is like a concertina type one. I was like drawing them in monochrome here with like little, they're supposed to be flowers, but now I see them as hearts, but they're not supposed to be hearts. Yeah, some little designs. These are actually beads that I took from one of my mum's like very weird bracelets. Obviously that's not the bracelet, but I was taking, you know, images of like parts of it and how it forms in different places. And I really like this. It's really like, why can't I see? There we go. I really like this. I just love all the bold colours, and I think this is where I'm going, this type thing. I just really like the shapes. So I've really enjoyed like looking at the forms rather than the actual like earrings like this when they're together and assembled and all like, you know, uniform. I like them when they're all like overlapping, and I don't know, as a pattern I think I prefer them like this. A bit like this, little bit of research I've done a bit here. Yeah, did a few little earrings but there that little designs that I've made before, and I just, you know, use different colours. I really like those colours together. Really nice. Then I got this little book here. I blue tacked it down because it was falling out all the time. And to cover that up, obviously. So there's some more like linky shapes. So I've actually got some that actually I cut them out with the cutter out of the clay, and then once you bake the pieces, you can bake two pieces. You can slice down here, and you can actually attach them, and then put them back in the oven and attach, and you know, glue. Use like liquid clay to attach it again, so then it's like a link, like a chain effect. So I really like that. Yeah, so I thought maybe that might come in later as well. I'm not sure, you probably can't see that very well, but it's like a white creamy collage of like earring shapes. I really like the monochrome and that how they're like layered. I just like the texture and I just like it. And a continuous line drawing. And then here. So it's going back to the earring findings. These are actually brass pieces that I use sometimes just to add a bit of like shine to some of my earrings. Like say if I was doing like, I don't know, you can add them to anything really, but like an arch maybe, and put maybe two underneath. They just look really nice and they add something special to the clay, I think. Just wanted to do like a negative space and positive space on that one. Some more findings. I was kind of trying to do like pattern filling because that's what, obviously that's what I'm meant to be doing. And then I really like that. That's probably one of my favourite things I've done in this project. I really like it. I don't know, I like all the shading and all the like, I'm not sure, I just like it. I think it's really cute. So then here, so I think this was one of George's sessions where we sort of went and looked for words that sort of go with our collections that we're using and things that we're producing. So I sort of got these out of like magazines, newspapers, and some of like my Etsy order slip things, or packing slips. So like obviously I like big earrings. Yeah, and I decided to just draw it out and just write the words on there. I'm not sure, I just like it. I think it's nice to associate it with the actual thing, you know. And then I've got like lists of like the pieces that I use, the shapes, findings. I think we had like a minute to just write down as many, I think it was like 2 minutes probably, write down as many words we can think of. And I like that too because it makes you think properly about what you're actually doing. Then I did a bit of a lino print section. Obviously that was the first one, and I obviously didn't put enough ink on. Yeah, so even the last one wasn't very good. I think that one's probably the best, but obviously I haven't perfected the technique. But I do like it. I think it's quite cool. And I've got some more lino to test it as well. So here I drew some earrings with oil pastels onto like different found papers, or papers that I'd used before. Like this collage was from first year, and I just dug it out and I just thought, oh, it'd be nice with a bit of red, some earrings on there. That was actually a wallpaper sample that I just wasn't using, some pink paper, and I just chopped it up and just made a little collage with it. I do kind of like it, but it's not kind of the vibe that I'm going for, I don't think. It's just rough and quite bold mark making, I guess. And some more. And then I do really like these like natural shapes. So I think when I go towards major, I think I am gonna go towards the naturally, like, not wonky, but I suppose they are wonky, like natural and organic, that's the word, organically, you know, shaped. I do really like that. I think it's different and unique. Here I was just like pattern filling and mark making, and then I got a new little silk screen for the clay actually. Obviously I can use it on anything, but it didn't really work here because masking tape kind of ripped up the page and stuff. But yeah, so I tried it on there. I think I'm going to try it on like leather and things for making earrings when I start making the major. And then here I've just sort of done some outlines of some earring shapes with the earring posts, and I think that's really cool. So I sort of developed that here, and I just love this. I think this is probably my favourite, along with that other little piece on the book. Here is kind of colour testing, so kind of trying to test like how the colours combine when they're put on top of each other. So obviously I haven't done it here because I quite like leaving the gaps white where they overlap. I think it's kind of, I'm not sure, it's very abstract, but I really like it. And I love the colours too. So I tried it in pencils, I tried it in oil pastels, paint pens. That was just a little task that we did, where you had to draw like what you had on. Bit of colour testing there. There's another task where we just had to find like colour palettes from like found papers that we had, and I didn't really have many, so I just sort of went downstairs and stole my mother's magazines and some like cardboard and stuff. It'd be good if I had more paper, but bit more drawing. I like that one there. On this one, I love the chain here with the little tassels. Bit more, oh, that's come through there. Bit more continuous line. I actually really like this one. This one's just from my desk, so I'm gonna have to keep moving this because you can't see everything. Just things from my desk, so plant alarm clocks and earrings on stands. And I actually really like how like sort of just free they are. These are some brass components that I use to make earrings, and some more components. Obviously this has made a massive mess. This is why I don't do charcoal in my sketchbook anyway. So we got some hoops, brass, hooks, ball posts, backings, just all the cool stuff. And then some more brass stuff. I do kind of like this watercolour and fine liner combination. I've always liked that. Some dotted line trace type thing. This is actually ink, and it had all bits in it, and my water had all bits in it because I think I left the ink to all dry up in my pot, so it kind of just like all bits went in. But I actually really like it. It's like speckled, so they are sort of more shapes for earrings. Some more continuous line drawing. These are some brass pieces. This was with some ink, and I actually ran out of my ink for that, so it's a bit like dodgy. That was gutting, but it is what it is. Then we've got some tools that I use to sort of decorate here. So these are like modelling tools. Sometimes if I need to make like flowers or something intricate, I use these, and these are like, that's a little ball tool, so to make like little indents in the clay. There's lots of techniques you can do with them. That's my extruder, my acrylic roller. I use them every day too. Some colour experimentation and some texture, sort of acrylic. You probably can't see, and it feels really nice. I wish you could feel it. But yeah, just map making and like texture making, because that's what I really want to try doing with my earrings in major, is sort of making new textures and making new, just making new things that I haven't done before. So then we've got our museum in a matchbox session. So here I've got continuous line drawing with pencil. So I've got a bit of like jewellery in none of my handmade jewellery. This is all like jewellery I had before in like little jewellery boxes. That was a Matchbox. These two are jewellery boxes. Got some chains, some bracelets, a ring, a little brass piece. I found these little plastic, they're like earring boxes, but I thought they'd be really cute to just put in there as like, because obviously it's a museum, I thought put the most precious items in there, and I really like it actually. And then I sort of found some jewellery illustrators, so I just love how detailed they are. These ones here by Fernando George. I mean, they look like real earrings, don't they? That one's obviously a ring, but yeah, and some watercolour ones here. Here then we've got some sketching, like continuous line, but sort of geometric kind of, because it's sort of like line, you know. Sorry, I'm shaking the whole table. But sort of like line rather than just a flowing line. And obviously these ones are chains, and I do really like drawing chains actually, but yeah, I'm not sure whether that worked. I don't think it did, but that's okay. So this was a little jewellery box that can't see again. This is a little jewellery box that my nan gave me. I haven't drawn all the detail on here because I do that in a different drawing, but here's like a few flowers I've taken from that and sort of collaged and drawn. Then some chains in pencil and some fine liners. I really quite like that. I like the orange with the black and the pencil. It's really nice, and I just like the way that it flows up. I think I might use that. Then we've got some cross-hatching bits from the museum and Matchbox. Sorry, I couldn't speak then. So we're sort of doing like negative space, and I'm still not a fan of it, to be honest. I'm just not. I do really like this though, this chain that I have for my bracelet and the ring, some buttons, and then this one I really like as well. Some continuous line drawing of the museum in a Matchbox. Then we've got some more museum in a Matchbox, not like watercolour. This was the detailed one of my nan's little jewellery box, and it's literally tiny. It's like this small. It's tiny, but it's so cute, and I just love it. It's not really practical, but probably keep like £1 earrings in it. But it's really cute, and I just love it, and it's got like gold all around it. Just looks really luxurious and cute. Then here I've got like fabric earrings, and I really want to experiment with this in my major, because obviously I'm usually using clay, but this sort of fabric and flow, obviously all the stuff's come through from the other page, but just ignore that. Yeah, so all the fabric, and it's sort of like petals, and there's like beads in there and sewn, like embellished into the hoops. They're just beautiful. They're probably my favourite pair of earrings that, you know, I had before my business. Some more little drawings. I better speed up because some pattern filling, some more little earrings. There's a watercolour of my favourite pair of earrings. Little collage. I really like that. It's from a wallpaper sample, but it's really pretty. There's the paper sample. These are pair of earrings from the V&A actually, and they're really cool. I just love the shape of them. Like, it's so different. Like, you don't see many earrings like that. And they're obviously not symmetrical either. So that's quite cool, I think. I think that's something maybe I'll take forward my stuff. This kind of crazy collage of like all shapes that I've, you know, ever explored really. Well, I've probably explored more, but you know, the ones that I can think of. So lots of colour, a little bit. And then I found this little image here by Jessica Hogarth, and I just thought of this straight away. So I just love that. I don't like that, it's really messy, but I used like paint sticks. I remember Kath recommended them to me once. I do really like them, but in this they didn't really. I like that. I don't like those though. Yeah, so here as well, I've been doing like little screen print onto clay. So I have been experimenting with that and like Posca pens on clay. I'm just going to speed up because I'm doing it too long now. Here then just some Posca pens and like pattern filling, some just random like jewellery that I have, some more chains, my bracelets, earrings. That's a necklace that my nan used to have as well. And then this one, just a earring shape that I took, that I've made before. And then I just went mad with the pattern filling. And then from there then, I've sort of thought of sort of doing more all accessories rather than just jewellery. So like scarves, so square scarves. And then I've got just so as I can sort of bring the pattern design into it as well as like making, because I don't really want to confine myself, you know. So I thought if I could bring my earrings into fabric and into design as well as like actually making, because obviously that's what I'm hoping to do, that would be great. So I thought, you know, I could explore both that way. So then I've got some research of some scarves that I've looked at. So I've also looked at some Chanel ones, but I haven't printed them off. So I just love the chains, like to go around the borders and things. And I really like how the borders work. It's just really lovely. Like, and I could even put like one motif rather than a pattern. I'm not sure. It's just, yeah. So then I've got a little map of what I can do major. And then there's my brief that I wrote. But yeah, and that's it.